let's look at the amount of hours they work per week. It's 60 to 110. 60 to 110. How many hours did you work? 40, 45? I know me, I work on average 70, I work 70, 80 hours a week. Okay, between filming and writing scripts and going out and talking to people. I get all my topics from going to the grocery store. And I'll just say, hey man, what's bugging you this week? Politics, what's bothering you about politics or whatever. So I work at least 70, 80 hours a week. A top CEO is going to work 90, 95 a week. Someone who owns his own company is going to be there from sun up to sundown. So do they have it easier than you, or are they willing to do something you weren't willing to do? Hi, I'm Scot Ferrell, and welcome to another episode of What's Your Problem? Great topic today, one that's explored endlessly in politics. Why are you mad at rich people? Great topic, right? Don't know if this is a problem for you. I don't know how much of a problem it is for anybody, to be honest, outside of the media, politicians, both parties, etc. So I wanted to explore it because I go out randomly and ask people, hey man, are you mad at rich people? It's funny when you talk to rich people, but are you mad at rich people? Are you envious of them? Do they do things you don't like? Or do you have this one all topic or catchphrase for rich people? Whatever it is. So I'm going to explore that today. Why are you mad at rich people? Now, I made a little list, and I want to go through why people say they're mad at them, and then what the reality is. It's two sides to each story, right? Anytime you have an argument, it's normally two sides, and a lot of times teachers, I used to be a teacher, we would say it's somewhere in the middle. So let's go ahead and explore that. Why are people mad at the rich? Now, let me classify what rich is to me. Well, let's go wealthy, rich, let's say that. So in the United States, I would say anyone that's wealthy is probably over $100 million. That's how I would classify that, because people keep making more and more and more and more, right? So rich, let's say what rich is. Let's go 20 million and above. You got some cash in your pocket, can buy some stuff. All right, so that's our parameters there, right? So rich is 20 million and above, and then we'll say wealthy is 100 million and above. All right, so let's start there. All right, so why are people mad? So I wrote some stuff down. Politicians, like both sides, like to use people, and what they'll do is they'll start class envy. Well, they've got it, you don't. They won life's lottery. I remember when Al Gore came up with that catchphrase. Well, a marketing company came up with it, but it worked. People seem to be mad at other people because they have something they don't. Now, what's envy really got something to do with? It's not money. Money's got nothing to do with envy. It's a person's heart. So people get mad at other people because they have something they don't. It's not necessarily money. Maybe someone got a new bicycle. Maybe someone got a new dog. Maybe somebody painted their mailbox and you didn't. I mean, so it's they won life lottery. So they got something I didn't. They were born with privilege. I wasn't. Whatever it is, we can always use that as a way to divide people and make them mad at somebody because they don't have anything. All right. Number two, they had it easier than me. Is that really true? I mean, do people have it easier than some people? Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't get to choose who my mom and dad were, Jim and Francis. That were my mom and dad, and I was born into that. So, but the great thing is I had opportunities, but they were born into something I didn't have. I always think about the royal family. I was watching an episode of one of their life stories. I tell you what, after watching it, I have a newfound respect for Kate Middleton that, oh my goodness, that poor girl. What she's endured to where she is now is absolutely unbelievable. So yeah, some people are born into better situations than others. That's a true statement. But is it a good reason to be mad at people for having money and stuff? Next one. All right, luck. As a coach, we would always say, and I remember this, I'd rather be lucky than good. Is there some truth to that as a coach, especially in basketball? Well, yeah. But do you still have to have talent? Do you still have to be good? Do you still have to put in hard work? Yeah, you do. But to say that rich people are lucky, and I hear people this all the time because it goes back to they won life's lottery. They were just lucky to be born into what they were born into. All right, so that's what people tell me at least. All right, next one. Have material objects and you want them. So what happens is, and I wrote down exactly what somebody told me. Well, they've got material stuff and I don't have it. Okay, I mean, that's true. They probably do have, because they've got a little coin in their pocket. They've got a little more stuff than you do. Is that a good reason to hate somebody or just be angry at them or just go, I don't really like them because? Yeah, it's something to research there, right? All right, next one. They look down on people because they're way more important or feel self-important. Okay, do rich people look down on people? Should that be a reason to look bad at them? And do all rich people look down on people? All right, well, my next question would be, how many rich people you know? How many rich people are your buddies? How many rich people do you hang out with? And again, remember what our parameters were. Rich is 20 million and above, and then wealthy is 100 million. So how many rich people? Here's what I know about human behavior. We normally hang out with people that are like us. So if you're broke, chances are your buddies or friends are broke too, right? So are you really hanging out with a bunch of rich people? And I always ask people, how many do you know? You know, one of those things, if you're going to tell me something, you got to pack it up with some facts here, man. All right, next one. They have a life of leisure. All they do is go to nice restaurants and go shopping and go on trips and buy cars and boats and stuff and jewelry and minks and furs and whatever else it is. Is that true? Now, we're going to explore this, but is that a true statement? Do the rich just shop and have a life of luxury? All right, so what I'm going to do here is I've given you the things that people have told me. Then I'm going to come back and come with reality check. I'm going to go with what people tell me. Hey, man, this is what happens when you're rich. And then I'm going to give you the reality check. So let's go back through the list again, okay? Number one, they won life's lottery. Most wealth's not inherited. Especially for my generation, and I'm getting closer to 60. It was hard work that did that. Now, a lot of wealth is inherited within circles. But let's look at this. I was reading a quote yesterday, and it says, first generation is earned, okay? Came from nothing, earned it. Second generation, not exactly rich, but rich and had to work. And third generation, didn't really have to work for it, just got to receive it. By the fourth generation, they're broke again. Why? You got to have some moxie, some hardship, some things you've got to go through to make you tough. Adversity really does build character. It builds who you are, and so most of it's not inherited. So most people had to go out and start a company, take it to market, sell something, and then get the benefits of doing that, and then hire multiple people to do it. So that's not really going to sit with me. Now, won life's lottery and they have it easier than me. Okay, so let's look at this. If they're rich or wealthy, let's look at the amount of hours they work per week. It's 60 to 110. 60 to 110. How many hours did you work? 40, 45? I know me, I work on average 70, I work 70, 80 hours a week. Okay, between filming and writing scripts and going out and talking to people. I get all my topics from going to the grocery store. And I'll just say, hey man, what's bugging you this week? Politics, what's bothering you about politics or whatever. So I work at least 70, 80 hours a week. A top CEO is going to work 90, 95 a week. Someone who owns his own company is going to be there from sun up to sundown. So do they have it easier than you, or are they willing to do something you weren't willing to do? Now think about it too. They had it easier when they went to college. A lot of guys, I've got a buddy that got his law degree at night with 3 kids at home. So he worked a full-time job, went to law school till 10 o'clock at night, studied after he came home, got back up after 3 hours of sleep and did that for 3 years. So did they have it easier than you? I don't think so. I mean, when you're working 60, 100 hours a week, trust me, once you've done it, and I've done it for years, it can be taxing for a while. So again, they don't have it easier than you do. They actually have it tougher. All right, luck. Was luck the biggest factor, or was hard work, refusing to quit, and desire the biggest factor? Well, yeah. How many people, look at Simon Cowell, if you look at his story from American Idol, don't watch the show, but I'm familiar with him, of everything he went to get to where he was. Look at any rock band, CEO, doctor, attorney. Most of them, like myself, I put myself through college at night and on the weekends and every summer. And then I worked a full-time job the whole time. Most of us had to do that. Well, that's not being lucky. Man, that's called hard work and study. So I don't think that argument's going to wash, right? All right, next one. All right, have material objects that you might want. All right, so they work for theirs. Try working for yours is what I wrote. Yeah, that's a true story. Can't get mad at someone for putting in the time, putting in the degrees, putting in all the mentorships, putting in their own money into what they were going to do, taking all the risk. They're risking their whole family's future. I think of Jerry Jones. Jerry made some cash in the oil business, and I was watching his documentary, and then he got all the kids together. This cracks me up to this day. And he goes, I've just put all of our futures at stake. I bought the Dallas Cowboys. Well, when this happened, what was it, 92? It didn't seem like a good deal. I remember reading the books. I think they were losing $1 million a month, if that's right. That's a lot of money. I don't care who you are. And so now he's invested all of his money in the Cowboys. Now, let's go almost 30 some years later. Not a bad idea. He's done a great job with it. Jerry's a genius when it comes to business. So is their kids. I mean, what a great family. So he put in his time. He took all of his fortune and gambled it. He gambled his whole family's future so he could have material objects, right? So he's got a yacht. He's got a plane. He owns a ball team. That's pretty cool. He owns a lot of stuff. Well, why be mad at somebody? Because let me talk about stuff for a second. If someone's wealthy and they decide to buy stuff, let's think of cars, a jet, a yacht. How many jobs did that car make? So let's say you got a Mercedes S-Series. So we've got all these people on the assembly line. So now we've got 1,000 jobs connected to that, from engineering to marketing to whatever, customer service. Now let's go to the yacht, probably another 1,000 jobs. Let's go to the plane, probably 2,000 jobs. So in 3 purchases, that person provided 5,000 jobs. Hey man, let people get as much money as they can. Why? Because people are going to take that money and put it back in the marketplace. We want people to have money in society. We want people to be filthy rich. They spend it. Don't be mad at people for being rich. Be mad at people for not having any. Because people that don't have any don't have anything to offer. They're receivers. They're takers. Where people that have money are givers. Plus, how do you think every charity in the world ever functions? Somebody writes a check. I've run nonprofits before. I'm also a pastor of a church. What, you don't think that we run on people giving money? Come on, man. So you got to have rich people. Yeah, and if you've got some cash, you're going to go buy some toys. What would you buy? Ask people that all the time. Aren't you mad at the rich for having stuff? But what do you want? You get mad at people for having a jet plane, but if you had one, would you be mad? You always got to put yourself in their shoes and what they did to get there. All right, next one. All right, I said look down on people as self-important. Let me tell you something about human behavior. Money has nothing to do with how you feel about people. It's all programming. You will be who you're programmed to be 0 to 7. Money will magnify who you are. I got a bunch of people that classify as rich and wealthy in my life. They're all wonderful people. They were wonderful people before they made the money. The money just gave them a way to express themselves even more freely. But who you are pre-money will be who you are post-money. Why? It's human behavior. You can ask any behavior person this. So it's the money's got nothing to do with people looking down on people. And I would probably have to use celebrity Paris Hilton. Why is that? Well, it's the one everybody talks about. I went to the grocery store the other day and she's still on the cover of Inquirer or something. Probably not a nice person before the money, but she's always been raised in money. And so now we don't look at her, we look at mom and dad or whoever it was. And if you know anything about Conrad Hilton, not the greatest guy on the planet, genius when it came to business, but not the most fun and cuddly fella. Look him up on the internet. So you are who you are, whether or not you have money. Keep that in mind. So when next time a politician says somebody won life's lottery or whatever it was, or the rich or this, remember, look up the net worths of anybody in Congress and the Senate. I'm talking about all parties. How did they get that money? You got to always ask yourself questions. See, the media and politics want to divide people. Well, last time I looked, the only difference between me and someone who had darker skin was pigmentation. We have the same internals. We have the same biochemistry because in med school, you only study one human body. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, next one. Life of leisure. Okay, rich people have a life of leisure. All they do is spend money and shop and travel. All right, let's examine that. Is that a true statement? Well, do you know anybody that's rich? And have you ever asked them what they do other than shop and travel and have a life of leisure? And what they'll tell you is they work all the time. All right, so is that a true statement? It's so funny because politics, media, people will throw out a statement and then hope it sticks. Okay, richer this, richer that, richer should be demonized, whatever. Now, a lot of times it's the people that own those companies that are demonizing themselves. Why? Because they can control people. Always remember something. If I can make you mad, or you can make me mad, or somebody can make us mad at each other, they can control us. Because now we're fueled by anger, envy, strife, whatever it is. Lucifer's main tools: fear. I'm afraid I won't have, so rich people, how a person gets rich is they steal from the poor. Is that true? Well, no. No, if the guy's smart enough, or a lady's smart enough to start a company, I think about Spanx. I live in the Atlanta area, and she's from here. She started in a, 1,100 square foot apartment with an idea. And now she's turned into a $1 billion corporation. She took all the risk. It was her designs. It was her having to pay her IP attorneys. It was her having to hire the right people to make this happen. It was her having to hire marketing people. It was her taking the risk. It was her putting herself out there, and she could lose everything. Now, the thing is, she still could. Just because you started a company and it's successful, I think about Xerox. I think about Montgomery Ward, Sears. Just because it made it doesn't mean it's staying. You still got to have all these things to go. So a life of leisure to me, if I get to work less than 60 hours a week, that's a life of leisure to me. Maybe not to you, but just working 60 hours, I feel like I got the week off. But once you get used to it, you got to remember something. When you're doing something you really enjoy and it fuels you, those 60 hours, those 80 hours don't seem like work. Now, I know it is work, and it's hard work. And you come home beat. Man, I can't tell you how many nights I come home and just go, I need to go to sleep because I'm tired. But being a pastor, and then being a coach, and then owning my own coaching company, and then all these things rolled in one, because all I do is, what's the name of this series with you? It's What's Your Problem? I solve problems all day. Other people's problems before I ever get to mine. So it can be taxing. But what happens if I didn't go and get my 4-year degree and then get post-degree stuff and then get all my mentors and then keep learning? Then I'm not of a service to you. So think about that. Now, so let's summarize. Let's go ahead and start to wrap this up. Are you mad at the rich, and why? Well, I've just given you all the reasons why. It's probably not a good idea to be mad at rich people. Here's an idea, though. If you see someone that's in life where you want to be, go ask them how they got there, and then pull out a pen and paper, offer to pay them, take them for coffee, take them to get something to eat, work for free. I cannot tell you how many things I've done for free working for people. I was a high school coach, man. When you want to get into coaching, you work for free. So just about anything you want to do, if it's real estate, go offer to work for free, as long as they'll teach you. Whatever it is, medical, legal, whatever you want to do, go find someone who can teach you so you can be like them. All right, see how easy this is? All right, so I hope this has helped. I hope this has solved a little problem with you being mad at rich people. Remember, I get irritated at broke people, not rich people, because rich people did what it took to get somewhere and then provide a service or a good or something for other people, and now you've got a platform to hire people. Think about that. What happens if someone never had an idea, never took it to market, never sold it? There's no jobs. Okay, remember, government doesn't provide anything. It's other people's money. Remember, the government only gives you back your tax money. Keep that in mind when you get all mad at people and start to believe a politician. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up right now. So keep a couple things in mind. Don't be mad at other people. Don't count other people's money. Worry about yourself. If you worry about yourself and where you're going and understand your purpose, plan, direction, then you don't have time to be mad at somebody else. All right, you can find tips and resources. I'm going to tell you where to find this stuff at wyppodcast.com. So wyppodcast.com is where you can find tips and resources for everything. You know, if you'd like for your problem, let's say you've got a problem, or I tell you what, it's never us, right? It's our friend's problem. If your friend's got a problem and you want it to appear on my podcast, send me an email, Scott at problem at wyppodcast.com. All right. So, all right. Also, do me a favor. All right. So don't leave here without doing me some favors. All right. Subscribe and share with someone who might just need an answer to a question from What's Your Problem. So let's say I've just covered somebody that's mad at rich people. Or I do things on suicide. I do things on depression. I do things on marriage. I do things on kids. I do things on parenting. If there's a podcast that you think can benefit someone, go ahead and share it. But make sure you subscribe also, because we want to be able to keep helping you. All right, I'm doing this as a service to everybody because I do own a coaching company. That is true. ScotFerrell.com is that company. So if you need help other than this, just let me know. I'm based outside of Atlanta in the Gainesville, Georgia area. So you can always give me a buzz, send me an email. But do me a favor. If you've got a question that you want answered, send it to me. It's that easy. All right, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I want to say thanks for being part of my day. Thanks for letting me be part of yours. And I hope that your day gets even better. And some of the information I just shared not only can help you, but it'll help that friend with the problem. All right. I'm Scot Ferrell. What's your problem? And I hope you have a great day. Take care.